Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. At both the state and district level, changes are occurring rapidly. It's critically important to our students, parents, and staff to get as much information out as possible to ensure the success of our learning plan today and every day. This morning, you'll hear from several speakers who will address important issues impacting our community. We'll start with our superintendent, Dr. Donald Fenoy.
Thank you, Mr. Tierney. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, to students, staff, parents watching, I want to assure you that we are all in this together, and we will all get through this together. It's not life's challenges that define us, it's how we overcome those challenges. Not a day goes by that I'm not humbled by the dedication of a teacher, the passion of a principal, or the unbridled curiosity of our students. Their quest for knowledge and our commitment to academic excellence and equity cannot be derailed by this challenge. We will all work as one. As you may have heard, Governor DeSantis has announced that all K-12 and career and technical center campuses will remain closed through April the 15th. Our district has a comprehensive remote learning plan in place, and we will institute digital distance learning. We understand that not all of our families and students have computers at home, which is why the district has sent home a technology survey last week, and we're still compiling that information. The district is committed to getting technology in the hands of our students who do not have it. Parents, if you haven't completed the technology survey, please do that today. In addition to being emailed to parents, the survey is also available on our dedicated coronavirus information website, which is palmbeachschools.org/coronavirus. If you need additional assistance with the survey or can't seem to locate it, please call our district hotline at 561-969-5840. The hotline is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Representatives are available in English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. I also encourage families that do not have Wi-Fi to consider taking Comcast up on its offer to provide free Wi-Fi for 2 months. Learn more about that program at internetessentials.com. In just a moment, members of the academic team will give you more information about the logistics of our instructional continuity support plan. Before that, I'd like to share other updates from the governor. In regards to assessments, accountability, and promotion, the state has canceled Florida standardized testing requirements for its K-12 schools. That includes all remaining assessments for school readiness, voluntary pre-kindergarten, and K-12 assessments for the 2019-2020 school year. Parents will have the option to keep children in the same grade in 2021 if they choose. Please consult with your child's teacher or principal for help making that decision. K-12 school grades will not be calculated for the 2019-2020 school year. Graduation requirements are also being reevaluated to make up for testing that did not take place. It will be as though the assessments, which were canceled, do not exist. Eligibility for Florida Bright Future scholarships shall be based on available data and results. Tests that were not available to be taken will not be counted. This is important for our teachers that are new to the profession. Tests for teachers will also be relaxed. For the next 120 days, exam fees for teacher certification-related tests will be waived, and deadlines for those tests will be extended. While these are certainly unprecedented times for our students, they are also trying times for the district's dedicated staff of more than 23,000 employees. I'm speaking to each member of our staff when I say you are essential to the functioning of our school district as we provide a world-class education for our students. In these uncertain times, and as the world changes around us, Each employee is critical as we navigate the delivery of services to our students. To that end, all Palm Beach County School District employees continue to be on payroll and are directed to remain attentive and ready to mobilize when called upon. Employees will be paid as the district upholds its commitment to providing students with a world-class education. The district is working strategically to maintain continuity of business and to address the needs of our students. While some employees will be needed to support our facilities, others will perform their duties remotely. You have to be prepared to pivot as necessary. Please note that all district employees remain on duty until further notice. School board meetings are also in flux. The governor has called for districts to postpone all board meetings through June 30th, and meetings may only be scheduled for emergency purposes. Today, we will have an abbreviated board meeting to address urgent matters. I will be submitting to the school board a declaration of emergency. This emergency action will help keep the district running by increasing the authority of the superintendent and lessening our dependence on regular board meetings. Again, as your superintendent and as a father of 2 children, I cannot overstate the importance of education during the most trying of times. Parents, your children will be learning from home for the time being. Please encourage them and help them stay on task with their lessons. Create a schedule. Be there with them. Seek help through all of the resources that we will be making available to you. Motivate them and reassure them that this is a temporary situation and that we will all be back together as soon as it is possible. Tell your children about all the wonderful people who have stepped up for them: district food service workers, transportation professionals, custodians, our school police department, and many others who are handing out thousands of free meals, food banks like Feeding South Florida that are contributing meals, Comcast and other business partners such as Office Depot, Florida Power and Light, and T-Mobile, which are assisting with our digital learning efforts, and the Education Foundation, which is helping the district pull all of this together. Speaking on behalf of the entire district, I thank you all for your unwavering support. Please understand, things are evolving rapidly, and we're making the best decisions we can at this time. I promise that we will continue to communicate on a regular basis and make sure that you are informed with the latest information. And now it's time for us to get down to business to talk about our original purpose, which is to educate our students. At this time, I turn over the podium to our Deputy Superintendent, Mr. Keith Oswald, who will tell you about our district's digital distance learning plan.
Thank you, Dr. Fenoy, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to talk to you about our instructional continuity plan, a plan that allows for teachers to continue teaching and students to continue learning. And I want to commend in advance all of the work that has been happening here at the school district, all the different departments and the schools coming together around this particular plan that we are going to showcase to you all today. I also want to commend in advance to the work that we're going to be asking of our teachers, our students, who will be working in a new reality, a virtual reality, around how we, again, work and how we learn. And also, obviously, to our parents, are going to be supporting them at home. Dr. Fenoy talked to you about, I'm going to show you a slide up here, some of the data that we currently have. As of this morning, we had approximately just over 46,000 surveys of around the technology usage that was submitted to the district. This is such an important step in us rolling out our digital plan so that we know that of the infrastructure needs of our community. So again, we ask that all of you that have not completed this survey to please go on and complete it. And from this, we know there are a number of communities and parents that are going to need a device. So when it comes to post-spring break, we'll be working on a deployment package around how that happens at our school centers. In addition, Dr. Fenoy mentioned about internet access. Again, we want to utilize these resources from Internet Essentials from Comcast as well as T-Mobile, all of that which can be found on our district's website. In a moment, Dr. Sheffield, our Chief Academic Officer, will come up here to take a deeper dive, as well as our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Diana Fetterman, to show you the site of what will be deployed to our schools. In the meantime, throughout now and through spring break, posted on our website are a list of resources for our parents and students to be utilizing throughout this time. So this includes a lot of resources like our iReady platform, Khan Academy, Newsella, a lot of educational resources that parents can utilize to keep learning occurring throughout this time period once we come out of spring break. Again, our district has been researching a number of different options for the delivery of virtual education. We are excited about this plan that allows for all of the learning to continue in a number of different modalities for our community members. So at this time, Dr. Sheffield will walk us through those next steps.
Thank you, Mr. Oswald. Good morning. It is indeed an honor just to be here this morning to talk about our instructional continuity support plan. This plan, the team have spent the past 2 weeks working diligently in regards to the digital processes and the protocol around how can we best service our students as they are away at home for unforeseen circumstances, continuing the educational platform. So through this, our instructional continuity plan, it's all developed, if you will see the graphics there, into 4 phases. Phase 1 was our readiness phase, in which we spent the past week and a half or so preparing just in case we needed to go for an extended time. And we are starting that phase 2 of that plan, which is our deployment phase right now. And through our deployment phases of it, what we are currently doing is that we are preparing, looking at the survey, looking at the needs of our families and our students, as Mr. Oswald indicated, as it prepares to a plan to getting our students the digital devices in which they would need in their home to assist with us providing the digital educational experiences for them. And at the same time, looking at the needs of not only our student learners, but also the needs of our teachers and principals and everyone else that's affiliated with educating our students. So then we will move on to the next slide. As we move on, you will see in regards to our instructional delivery, what actually will it look like as our students are participating in the digital virtual learning. And we have 3 different options that are there that will be available. And that first option is our teacher-led instruction, and that's where our teachers would be utilizing Google Classroom, through Google Meets, through Google Hangouts. And the unique part of that is that many of our classrooms are already utilizing Google Classrooms as exposure for our students as a method of teaching and learning. We'll also have an option available for continuation of the digital educational learning as district-led instruction via the website, where our students would be able to watch the tape recorded lessons in which our curriculum team have worked very hard in developing those lessons, video recording those lessons, and they too will be available for our students. If our students or our teachers decided that they were going to be utilizing the district-led instruction via the website, we would have what is known as a JOT form, to where students would be able to have immediate contact with our district staff and their teachers to make certain that we are providing ongoing support. And lastly, option 3, we do have within our plan that we will be sharing and releasing later today, is that our students, our families would have an opportunity for continuing learning as an option through our local television stations, our government channel. Here at the district, we have our TV 10, or what have you. So we're just, I'm excited, I am pleased in regards to the work that has been done with the team, that has been completed with my team, and the resources that we are putting forth to our families, and knowing that we too are going to continue to work here at the district level in supporting our student learners through this digital process, as well as our principals and our teachers. At this time, I think it is appropriate, I'm going to ask Diana Fetterman, our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning. She is going to actually take us into the web platform in which our students and their families would be utilizing and our teachers. It's a web platform that they would be utilizing. She is going to take us live just through some snippets in regards to what that learning would look like. Thank you, Ms. Fetterman.
Thank you, Dr. Sheffield. So we are excited to share with our community and with our parents and our teachers what the district teams have been able to create at this point. So we will be sharing this site available with our teachers and our community very shortly. So through this home page that we have available, our teachers will be able to access and our students will be able to access the lesson plans that are recorded lesson plans so they can access virtual instruction. And that's how important that is, because we want to ensure that our families are able to continue instruction and our students are able to continue instruction, because we know how incredibly important that is. So our students will be able to log on, they'll be able to watch these recorded lessons and be able to continue their work each day. So I'm really excited to show you what we have so far. So let's go ahead and join and look at our elementary page. So if we look into the elementary page, we have some suggested daily schedules. So something that we know is incredibly important for our students is to have a schedule. So we have suggested schedules for our students for elementary, K2, and 3-5. And if we continue down, we will have the broadcast schedule. And this is something that we will share not only online, but through various media as well. For our students that do not have internet access, we are using our 10 studios and their stations to broadcast our lessons on their stations so our students and our families can watch these recordings as well. And then our students, teachers, can get to all of their lessons for all of the different content areas. And through the district site, we are able to support from pre-K through grade 12, all of the core content areas, so English, math, science, social studies, physical education, arts, and music, as well as several other elective courses. So I want to show you what students can expect to see, for example, in elementary literacy. So if we go here, we have some tools available to parents about how to add a read aloud to their Chrome browser, or how to add Google Translate. But here, showing parents what they can expect to see, this is a student-facing view. So they can see exactly what it is that their students will see each day when they log on. You'll see a link to a lesson, a brief view about what it is that we can expect our students to learn, and then hyperlinked resources, including readings and activities, everything hyperlinked right there with instructions, ready and easy to understand for our parents and our families that are helping our students learn, and for our students that are right there. And also, we will be providing some support services for our English language learners and for our ESE students as well. So all of these will be provided via this site for pre-K through 12 for all of our different subject areas. Additionally, we realize moving to an online learning platform can be challenging for some of our families, for some of our students, for some of our teachers. It really is, as Dr. Fenoy said, a new world for all of us. So we provided a digital tools help page for the entire community. On this page, we have resources: how to use Google Meet, how to use Google Classroom, videos and resources, support guides for our families, for our teachers, for our students, how to access different programs. And again, these will also be translated into Spanish, into Haitian Creole, and into Portuguese, all in video format and in guide format, to make it easy for our parents and for our students to access all of the resources that we have available. And then finally, for our community, we will show you the plan that we have available, our instructional continuity support plan that we are excited to show to our families and to our entire community. This will be released shortly after the press conference so that we can provide our community with our exact plan of how we will continue our educational services during this time. Dr. Sheffield?
Thank you, Diana. As we, again, prepare to release our instructional continuity support plan to the community, once again, we say thank you, and we want the community to know that we here, as members of the School District of Palm Beach County, we are committed to working alongside with you and your families during this time. And please know that we are readily available to assist. We will be setting up our deployment stages in regards to getting our student learners the resources and the other items in which they're in need of. Also working with our teachers and our principals in providing the support in which they would need in transitioning from providing educational services from the school centers to the homes of our family. Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to introduce our Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Wanda Paul.
Good afternoon. The district started distributing free breakfast and lunch to our students on Monday. Since Monday, we've handed out 29,000 grab-and-go meals at our 30 feeding sites throughout the county. We will continue to do the grab-and-go meals through Friday. With the help of the organization Feeding South Florida and our amazing district personnel, we distributed about 6,000 boxes of food at our sites yesterday. More boxes will be distributed at the 30 feeding sites this Friday. Right now, our food services department is trying to coordinate district and community feeding efforts for over the spring break period. After spring break, we will resume what the district has done this week, distributing grab-and-go meals at numerous feeding sites. Please be sure to visit our website as the feeding sites may be adjusted after spring break. I wanted to commend our amazing custodial teams at the schools for continuing to sanitize our district facilities, as well as our transportation employees that are sanitizing our buses. Every bus will be sanitized by close of business today. In addition, I want to assure everyone that the schools used as polling places during yesterday's primary have been sanitized. And I want to thank the principals, regionals, and instructional superintendents for doing an amazing job in making sure that our community is taken care of. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Mike Burke.
Good afternoon. The business operations of the school district continue. Fortunately, the technology and the systems that we have in place allow this work to continue remotely when needed. And just as an aside for us finance people, the social distancing seems to be coming very naturally. The budget for the 2019-2020, the current school year, remains in place. This allows us to continue to pay all of our regular employees. So all employees, as Dr. Fenoy mentioned earlier, our payroll continues. The vast majority of our staff are on direct deposit, which is a great thing because payroll will continue uninterrupted every 2 weeks. And we have a payday on Friday, and everything's in good shape there. There is a small contingent of our workforce that are truly temporary employees. These are our day-to-day subs. These could be temporary academic tutors or counselors that work in our after-school programs. Those temp jobs can only be paid when the people are actively working with our students. So that's a one sole exception. It's a relatively small group, but the vast majority of our regular employees will continue to be paid. We are closely monitoring the U.S. Congress efforts to pass a coronavirus stimulus package and how that may benefit our district and students, but that remains to be determined at this time. Otherwise, again, the funding for the current year remains in place. We're able to adapt and redirect our workforce as needed and continue to pay everybody. And along with that, our vendors that are helping us with different projects or services, they will also continue to be paid for services rendered. Thank you very much.
I'd like to introduce Chief Kitzrow and Chief Shannon.
Good afternoon. From the police department perspective, just to provide you a few updates. In addition to our normal duties that we have, we are positioned to take on the added responsibilities associated with navigating through this event, and we continue to support the district-wide efforts, especially as it relates to operations, planning, logistics, and basically being flexible to be able to handle whatever comes our way. Our Tactical Operations Center is up and running. It has been running now since well in advance of the current challenges. And from that tactical operations standpoint, we are serving as a coordination point for district operations, interaction with other agencies, and the like. Also, internally, we're doing everything that we can to protect our police officers so that we can keep them on the job long term. So we're practicing the recommended safety strategies that you're all aware of. You've heard social distancing. We're screening our officers and those types of things. In terms of our Tactical Operations Center, that is serving as a coordination point for maintaining contact with the Emergency Operations Center, the district departments, other local law enforcement agencies and fire rescue services. You have to remember, in addition to our, several hundred thousand students, we also have a large staff that interacts with the community back and forth. So this ebb and flow, the relationship between law enforcement is very, very important. And so we're continuing that as well. We get regular updates from the Emergency Operations Center. But I want to make sure that I reassure people from the police perspective, because of the commitment that this school board has made, because of the leadership of Dr. Fenoy, and because of the things that we've done over the last 18 months in this police department, I want to assure you that we have the right people, we have the right technology, and we have the right partnerships to be able to navigate through this challenge. Standing with me is Chief Clint Shannon from the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department. He is not only their chief, but he is also president of the Palm Beach County Association of Chiefs of Police. We work together regularly every single day to make sure we're doing everything that we can for the safety of our students, our teachers, faculty, and our communities. And I'd like to turn over to Clint for just a couple of seconds. Clint?
Thank you, Chief Kitzrow. Again, as Chief Kitzrow said, we just wanted to reassure, although we're facing a very challenging situation, law enforcement through our associations throughout Palm Beach County, along with fire rescue, is well prepared and they're unified. We have very strong relationships throughout the county with law enforcement, with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, certainly with the School District Police Department. We're communicating multiple times daily with our Emergency Operations Center, with each other, and also with all of our fire rescue departments. We are sharing best practices, we're sharing our policies and procedures, and more importantly, we're sharing our resources. But even when school is not in session, we're communicating multiple times daily with our school police officers. We're dealing with issues of mutual interest for all of our agencies, and the safety, well-being, and security of not just our students, but our school staff is a priority to all of our agencies throughout the county. It's just a reassurance that we're working together extremely well, and we're going to share resources whenever it's appropriate. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce our Chief of Human Resources, Dr. Gonzalo LaCava.
Good afternoon. First, I want to make sure that every student, parent, guardian, and community member knows that my thoughts and prayers are with you on a daily basis. I know for certain that when we get through this, we are going to be stronger and better because of all the efforts that everyone's putting into this crisis. Now, from the human resources side of the house, we are receiving a lot of phone calls and concerns from teachers, substitutes and paraprofessionals, bus drivers around employment, work schedules, pay, and many other work-related concerns. We will continue to answer all those questions through our Ask HR site and our customer service site. And if we can't get you the answer, we're going to make sure that we get back to you with the correct answer as well. I want employees to know that we appreciate your patience and all your questions and concerns around work-related issues, especially work schedules. Please remember that these are uncertain and trying times, and work schedules are fluid and information is fluid as well. Due to the impact of COVID-19, our community schools and students, we are updating our procedures and processes regarding the way we work during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ultimately, what this means is that we may be doing business a little bit differently, and it's really to keep our students and community safe and secure, during this time. As more information becomes available, you will receive direction from your supervisor. You will also continue to receive communication through multiple channels, including your superintendent, communication department, our coronavirus webpage, and multiple channels that are available to you as well. Please remain flexible and willing to do what needs to be done for the betterment of our students and district. Now, if you have questions, please call our HR hotline, 561-434-8777, and you can reach us by email at askhr@palmbeachschools.org. And I appreciate it, and everybody in the school district appreciates what you do. Have a great day.
At this point, I'm pleased to introduce our board chairman, Mr. Frank Barbieri.
Thank you, Mr. Tierney, and good afternoon to everyone. As a board, we are committed to doing everything we can to support Superintendent Fenoy, our students, our staff, and our entire community. We are well aware that the closing of our schools is a hardship for many, but as dedicated members of a larger society, protecting the health and welfare of our families and those throughout our state and country is everybody's responsibility. As you heard from Dr. Fenoy and his executive staff, this great district is committed to working with you and working around all challenges that arise. In just a few hours, the board will hold our final conventional meeting to address urgent emergency matters. The district will promptly inform you about how future meetings will be held once that is determined. There are still folks out there saying we are overreacting. We all hope that this pandemic will soon be under control and the number of deaths will be minimized. But speaking directly with my family members in Italy, I know firsthand that what we are doing is absolutely necessary to avoid what they are living through. On behalf of the board, I thank you all for your support. We are all here for you. The board office will be fully functional during the time period that we are in these limited hours. The board office phone numbers will continue to work, and you can reach board members the traditional way you have in the past. May God bless you all and keep you all safe. Thank you.
Before opening up for questions, I'd like to let you know that the document outlining the district's continuing operations plan will be posted to our website right after this noon conference. It's palmbeachschools.org/coronavirus. At this time, we'll take questions.
Hi there, it's Andrew Mayer from the Palm Beach Post. A question about the meal delivery. I think I understood that meals are not being delivered next week because schools are closed. Is there any contemplation about revisiting that, given that a lot of the grocery stores are having trouble keeping the shelves stocked?
No, that's not what I said. We are in conversation with our community partners, South Florida Food Bank, to make sure that we can continue to serve those meals during the spring break.
Next question.
I'll go to her.
This is for the instructional staff. I'm Lois from the Sun Sentinel. When students log in to take a lesson, will they be seeing their own teacher?
So the model that we have that's going to be being rolled out is going to have a couple of different phases to it. What's going to happen over the next few days, in the next week, and on the Monday after spring break, is that those teachers who are able to utilize Google Classroom will begin to roll out where they'll see direct instruction from a classroom teacher. However, there are options where if teachers are not yet up to that capacity, where there are lesson plans that was shown by Ms. Fetterman earlier today. Need to add?
So will every student have a choice of seeing a live lesson or a recorded lesson? It's up to the student's family?
Well, it would be up to the instruction, that's the option in which the teacher work very closely with the principal in regards to what the best delivery option would be based on the individual needs of the, well, excuse me, I should say, based on the differentiation for the classrooms per se. So there are options. One particular school could be using all three options, not that one school is saying that they're going to just use option one and not option two. We will be leaving some of this to the teacher and where they're comfortable in providing this digital platform.
Okay, next question.
This is Tanya Rogers with Channel 5. My question is, how will special education students, how are they going to learn remotely, especially for those who are part of ESY, the extended school year? So what's on tap for them?
So when it comes to special education services, yesterday, Commissioner Corcoran did mention that they're going to be working closely with us. There are options that the team has been putting together to deliver education for our special needs population. And Ms. Fetterman, do you want to add to those pieces?
Additionally, we have included a lot of support, so the lessons being provided on the Google site include a lot of supports for our ESE students, as well, of course, for our English language learners. So those are being co-written by our ESE supports team staff and our multicultural department staff. Additionally, we are working with therapists, so therapy will be provided as well as much as possible. And we are continuing to receive guidance from our state and federal DOE in order to provide our individualized plans as much as possible during these times.
I do have a follow-up to that. I just want to make sure that along with providing all that, will there also be some tips to help the parents? Because I know the parents, and we've been hearing from parents ourselves at the station, will there be some tips for them to be able to know how to keep their kids moving along and learning?
Yes, we will be providing ongoing support to the parents. We do have a support line actually set up here for the district office to where the parents will be able to call in if they're needing some ongoing support. We will be able to provide the support utilizing our call-in system, our hotline. And the classroom teacher. The classroom teacher will constantly be in communication with the families as well. That's part of the digital learning experience.
Next question.
This is Danielle Waugh from CBS 12. Could you speak about the deployment process of devices? It sounds like plans are still being worked out, but do you expect something like the meals where people can drive to a site and pick it up for their kids?
Yeah, so we have a conference call scheduled this afternoon with our school principals to work on that deployment package. So right now, again, the first thing, I urge all individuals who are listening, if you have not completed the survey, complete the survey. So those individuals who have identified that they need a device will be asking our principals to reach out to those particular families so that they can be scheduled to come in and get a device from their particular school. Right now, this will be school-driven, not necessarily at the feeding sites at this point. So all of our schools have devices ready to be deployed. What we need now is the information. So we know we have a number of families that are in need. We will begin that process with our principals this afternoon with deploying those devices. So this will be kind of a work in progress. The more that the surveys get completed, the more efficient it will be for families to get a device.
Different subject. I take it that this digital learning plan will continue for the rest of the school year. What does this mean for graduation? Are those ceremonies canceled?
So we are prepared to provide education through the end of this school year. When it comes to graduations, we will wait for direction from our governor, our commissioner at this time, so it's tough to say at this time. But as far as education virtually, we will continue to provide that, and we will provide more updates on graduation as we have information.
Okay, next question.
This is Angela Rozier with WPBF 25 News. My question is, do you have an official start date for this digital planning to start? And if so, when will it end?
So teachers come back from spring break virtually on the 30th, that Monday. So that will be a day for them to prep and get up to speed. In the meantime, principals will be working to deploy devices as they get up to speed on that 30th. Our goal is that teachers will begin on the 31st to deliver virtual education. So we do ask for some community to be flexible on this as we build up this scale, but our goal is that Tuesday after. In the meantime, between now and that point, that time, as I mentioned earlier, we have a number of platforms, resources that families can utilize from iReady, SuccessMaker for math. Please go to our webpage to use those resources in the meantime.
And this is the last question.
Will the grades that these students get during this digital learning, will that be included with their overall GPA? Because a lot of seniors are graduating and hoping to get, a good GPA to get into colleges. How will this work?
Yeah, grading is a question that we're getting a lot of. Right now, we're working through some of the details on that piece, as well as we're getting information from the Department of Education as far as what will be held accountable for students and what won't. So as we get more information, working with the Department of Education, we'll provide that to our schools and our teachers and to our community.
Sorry guys, just one more question.
The question about the teachers on the 30th that week, I guess they're going to be working from home. Is that the assumption at this point? I know this is still unfolding.
So this afternoon, when we have our conference call with the principals, we'll be working with them on a staggered schedule to allow teachers to pick up, because when we closed schools last week, teachers need to go back and pick up either possibly Chromebooks, teacher editions, other materials that they need. We'll be working with our principals to allow teachers to come on campus in a staggered stage to pick up things that they need to work virtually.
We realized there were some technical difficulties at the beginning of this event. This press conference was recorded in its entirety and will be placed on our website shortly. Thank you for coming.